I'm Sidian Jones, your personal mythologist, and today I'm going to show you how to create a mythical sleep realm that you can visit whenever you're trying to get to sleep. This is going to allow you to ritualize your sleep pattern, calm you down, and ultimately get you sleeping better. So here's a brief overview. We're going to choose characters or beings for the scene. We're going to choose a realm, create the scene, and then I've got a few tips for you at the end. To do this, we're going to use Personal Mythology and an optional AI such as ChatGPT. This exercise will combine your archetypal gods, gurus, and realms. And more specifically, you're going to want to choose versions of those archetypes that are relaxing for you. Sometimes that can mean somebody that you just want to talk to at the end of the day, or somebody that you can offload your problems to. So the first step is to choose your beings, and these could be living or have passed on. They could be real people or mythical creatures. The point, though, is that you want them to be relaxing to talk to. Beings that are good for this position are like people you would consider teachers, gurus, people that you tend to respect and who can give you good advice and that sort of thing. Now, if you've ever gotten advice in your head from anybody really, you've already made use of this method in your life, and most people have done that. You know, most people have a sort of inner dialogue, and they might be doing something in life, and they kind of hear the chatter in the background of a teacher that they always listen to. And there you go. That's making use of a mythical being, basically, because the being in your head is not the same as the being in real life. Therefore, they are mythical. They exist in an imaginary realm. And yet you're still able to make very practical daily use out of them. And that's a very helpful technique. Today we're going to focus on how that can help you get better sleep. Next, you want to choose a realm. A realm can be any place, any environment. It could be something very specific, like a certain mountain range that you really enjoy, or a place that you've gone camping. It could also be very abstract. It could be simply a infinite realm of a particular color. Point being, you want this to be somewhere that you can remember, and that when you go to feels calming. Now, all you really need to do is imagine or write up a scenario in which you and these beings are in this realm, and you simply talk about your day together, or whatever it is that helps relax you at the end of the day. That might also mean telling them issues that have gone on during the day, or maybe even planning for tomorrow. For me, I really love Alan Watts as a sort of spiritual guru, and Dream from the Sandman comic book series. I find that these two are the most calming and informative for me, and the realm that I chose is something I made up called the Figment, like a figment of your imagination. And it's basically a beach at nighttime where the ocean is like this black water with iridescent shafts of light all through it, and it represents the collective imagination of all mankind. Now, mine is a little extra elaborate, but I've been at this for a while, and it's just something I have a passion for and I have a lot of fun doing. Yours doesn't have to be very elaborate at all. It just needs to be something that you like. Just make it for you. One of the most effective ways to make a new myth work for you is to compose it. And I use that word the same way that you would use for composing a piece of music or something. You're adding details to it. You're fleshing it out, polishing it up. So what this can look like is, let's say you've chosen a sort of shamanic guru for this realm of yours. Try thinking of any sort of backstory for them. They might even, maybe this is a generic shaman character you just thought up in your head, but you can borrow backstory from tales that you've heard, movies that you've seen, things like that resonate with you. You can also use my Mythic Being Composer on Etsy, which is a really fun and interactive way to do this. The more that you compose your myth, the more enlivened the scenario is going to be for you, the more integrated you're going to be able to make it, and the more mental triggers you're going to be able to build to be able to remember and integrate all of this. Now, as I said before, you could just imagine or write these things down, but there's another potentially easier method, depending on who you are, which also works great if you're aphantasic, which means that you're unable to see images in your mind's eye. And that method is to use an AI like ChatGPT. ChatGPT is amazing for this. You can use the free version just fine, and what I did was went ahead and gave it this prompt. I told ChatGPT, roleplay with me. I'm on an island with Alan Watts, the philosopher, and Dream, the Sandman. It is night. The ocean we see is called the Figment. It is black with iridescent lights. It is the collective imagination of all mankind. I ask Dream what he thinks of personal mythology. ChatGPT gave an excellent response. I love this. It said, Dream, the Sandman looks at you with his piercing gaze, his eyes reflecting the iridescent lights of the Figment. He tilts his head slightly, his raven black hair flowing gently in the night breeze. Dream says,
Personal mythology. It is an essential part of the human experience. In my realm, I have seen countless dreams and stories woven by humans to make sense of their lives and the world around them. These myths help shape their identities, give meaning to their existence, and provide guidance on how to live.
Alan Watts, sitting cross-legged on the sandy shore, takes a thoughtful drag from his pipe and nods in agreement. Alan Watts says, Indeed, personal mythology is a reflection of one's inner psyche, an attempt to understand the universe within. Each of us is a story unfolding, a myth in the making. Our interpretations of these myths may vary, but they all serve a purpose. You sit down between them, feeling the cool sand beneath you, and continue the conversation. The Figment's waters gently lap the shore, the iridescent lights dancing on the waves, as if the collective imagination of mankind is joining in the discussion. So this is great. ChatGPT has taken something that I've been doing for years and fleshed it out, composed it more than I ever had. I mean, over time I've added many details here and there, but I hadn't quite taken it to this length. But doing this, I have found that now when I go to bed and I use this technique, which isn't always, but when I do, these details that Chat added for me are now added to my memory. And so the entire technique has become more integrated for me. Now, obviously in this example, I just ask Dream what he thinks of personal mythology, but you can use it for much more practical purposes. This is very conversational and can be very relaxing. You can also bring very specific issues up. Like I said before, if you've ever gotten advice in your head from, a fictional character or even a living person, then you have used this technique. This is just putting it into a better perspective, giving it more methodology, and teaching you how to really make the best use of that. Alright, that is it for today, everyone. I hope you found this very fun and insightful and useful, and remember, live mythically.